Woman Foundation and Hispanic Star partner with ASHOKA to honor outstanding Latino change makers in the U.S. who embody the spirit of transformative change and their ideas to drive positive societal impact. This award aims to celebrate and shine a spotlight on change makers. We've been talking all day today and yesterday about change makers. We're going to celebrate them and thereby inspiring others in the community to follow in their footsteps. The ripple effect of this recognition can spur more change agents, fostering an empowered, self-organized community. By connecting these change makers, we aim to promote shared experiences and encourage synergistic collaboration, further strengthening the Latino community and its influence nationally.
Thank you, Claudia. It's an honor and a privilege to stand here today, representing ASHOKA, an organization deeply committed to identifying and supporting the world's leading social entrepreneurs and change makers. At ASHOKA, we're witnessing an evolving pattern within our network, where entrepreneurs are crafting a dynamic type of collaboration for the new economy. It's about transcending traditional boundaries and aligning towards shared goals, forming what we call today a team of teams. And in doing so, unlocking massive social value and often business value. Today we're here to ignite yet another powerful team of teams. We're also here to celebrate the collective spirit of innovation and resilience within the Latino community. We believe wholeheartedly in the power of ideas to change the world, but we still must strive every day to build a society where everybody possesses the trust, the skills, and the support they need to address social issues and drive transformative change in action. As we recognize our awardees, we're not only celebrating their remarkable contributions, but also nurturing the foundations for a vibrant, interconnected community of changemakers. Each of you, with your unique perspectives and creative approaches, is vital to this new team of teams. We're excited for our next steps together, because today is more than just a celebration. It is a commitment to support each other, to opening new pathways, and to building a better world for everyone.
The selection of awardees was guided by ASHOKA's and Hispanic Star key skills and values for change makers. From ASHOKA, impact, empathy, fluid teamwork, shared leadership, and creative problem solving. From Hispanic Star, resilient, caring, community-driven, and courageous.
Your work resonated with us amidst a pool of noteworthy candidates, signaling that the spirit of innovation and community enrichment is strong and alive. Your commitment to fostering change showcases the potential in every person to be a force for good. In joining the first cohort of Latino and Hispanic changemakers in this award, you're contributing to a movement that underpins the richness of our contributions to the U.S. But before we begin introducing all the awardees, we'll show you a special video from one of them, Maria Hinojosa, Pulitzer Prize winner, founder of Futuro Media, based in New York. She's written several books, won multiple awards, and today her focus is on deep accountability and investigative journalism.
Hi, everyone. I'm sorry I can't be there. I really wish I could be there, but it brings me so much joy to receive this award and to take a moment to talk about the inspiration that I feel from all of the Latino, Latina, Latinx, Latine changemakers and how I feel inspired by them. And I will tell you this, the thing that keeps me going is knowing that, one, our numbers show it. I believe 2024 is going to be the essential year that shows the power of the Latino, Latina vote, and also that we are so engaged. So from Dolores Huerta, who is 93 years old and continues to do the work all the time now, to Caitlin Gonzalez, who I met from Uvalde, Texas. Caitlin is a survivor from the massacre in Uvalde, Texas. And that range from 11 years old to 93, That's what inspires me. And they're both change makers, and they're both females. And they take their power and their agency very seriously. So that is what inspires me to continue to do the work of telling stories, doing the journalism that tells the truth about who Latinos and Latinas are in this country. Thank you so much for recognizing my work with your award. Thank you so much for letting me know that you support what I'm doing, and that you understand that the work that I'm doing as a journalist is part of a legacy, a history of journalists of conscience in the United States that for me starts with Frederick Douglass and goes through Jovita Hidar and Rubén Salazar. And I'm so honored to be honored by you. Muchas gracias. It means a lot to me, and I'm so sorry I can't be there. Have a beautiful, beautiful ceremony. Gracias.
Dear awardees, this certificate award is in recognition of your outstanding contributions and dedication to fostering positive change within the Latino and the Hispanic communities. Your commitment, creative problem solving, and shared leadership not only enrich our present, but also ignite the spark for future generations of change makers across all sectors of society. As a recipient of this recognition, you stand as a powerful example of how Latinos and Hispanics are building a present and future for all of us. And it is with great honor that we celebrate your achievements. Alisa Silvia Rafi, Ariel Luna, Ceci Rivera, Diana Cava, Ed Herrera, Dr. Gemma Galdon Globel, José Chapa, Shirley Acevedo Buontempo, Valeria Vega Gómez, Vanessa García Polanco.
Buenas tardes, boa tarde. And for this first edition of the awards, we also wanted to have a special mention to those who are creating deep impact in the long term in our Hispanic and Latino community. So please join me in celebrating the amazing change makers, the special mentions. Rocio Van Nierop, Maria Ihonosa, Dolores Huerta, Maria Teresa Kumar, John Lequizamo e Mônica Ramírez.
Thank you so much. Let's give them another round of applause, please. And now I will leave you with the panel about the ASHOKA Changemakers. Thank you.
These 2 days. Otra vez. Hola, ¿cómo están? Eso. I was saying, what a joy to be able to hug everybody these days, huh? I think that it feels different. Wonderful. So today we have the wonderful opportunity to hear from two amazing women who are part of our amazing awardees, who are truly making a difference in tech in the US as women, and they're opening new pathways. So please join me in welcoming Gemma and Rocio. Thank you. So I would love to start asking with, how did you feel so passionate about this work that you started it? So should we start with you, Gemma, and then Rocio?
Sure. So should I press something?
Yeah, it's the gray button.
So I work on algorithmic justice, AI justice. I audit AI systems to see how AI systems impact on different communities and try to defend those that are often left out of technological processes. And this feels very, very personal to me because I was born and I grew up beating the odds. My mom was 14 when she had me. I'm the granddaughter of refugees. I grew up in a mix of trauma and hope and an amazing belief in the future of humanity and equality. And so when you grow up beating the odds, and a lot of us here, I think, have been beating the odds throughout our lives, beating the odds is actually beating the algorithm. Basically, the odds are against you, and you're managing to find ways to overcome those obstacles that keep telling you you're not supposed to do better, you're not supposed to be anyone, when there's zero expectations on your future and your success. When I was growing up, my odds were not set in an AI system. And so I feel that it was easier for people like me to beat the odds because they were not so fixed. I fear in my work that today, because we are putting people's odds in algorithms, these odds may become a fate, and a fate that it's a lot more difficult to escape than it was for me or people like me a few decades ago. So for me, it's really important to have people and to have built a team that work on algorithmic justice, on making sure that everything that we have created and defended and fought for in terms of equality and representation in the last centuries is also translated into technical systems, and that we don't lose the battle for civil rights and for representativity once an AI system gets in the mix.
Thank you so much, Shema. Can you share with us, Rocio, what made you passionate about this work? How did you start? How did you become passionate about it?
Absolutely, and thank you for the award. Well, I'm Rocio Van Europe, co-founder and CEO of Latinas in Tech. And as you have heard on and on, we are underrepresented in technology. Latinos make up for only 8% of tech workers, at least if you see California, where I was born and I live now, we're Latinos a little over 50% of the population. We hold Silicon Valley, the largest tech industry in the world, but yet Latinos are only 8% of the employees. And it has been said before that employees should represent the markup of the ethnicity of the place, but this is far from real. 8% of tech workers, mostly men. Only 2% of tech workers are Latinas. And when we started Latinas in Tech, actually well before, when I was working in tech and many of us were working in tech, it was only one of us per company. When the companies wanted to get out of the US, when Google wanted to launch Latin America, everybody wanted our dinero. Yeah. And now, what upsets me a lot and should upset us all is that we're $3.2 trillion of the GDP. We're their main consumer. Who uses WhatsApp? Who uses Google? Who uses Facebook? They want our money. But yet we're not the jefas. We're not the makers. And they say it's a problem in the pipeline, but really, the pipeline is there. We're many knocking on the door. And unfortunately, from these 2% that work in tech, we're at the very bottom. We're stuck in entry-level positions. When you should be there for 2 years, we're there for 5 to 10 years. The system is not working for us, so that's what we're trying to fix.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And we would love to learn more about what you're doing, Gemma, in the ecosystem. What is your work? What are you focusing on at the moment?
So the main thing that we do is audit AI systems. We've realized that the best way to change the incentives of the tech industry is making sure that they are accountable to someone, to AI auditors that collect the data on how these systems are impacting on people, and make it public and hold companies accountable when they're making decisions that are discriminatory or biased against certain populations. Some of the things that I was really amazed in my work when I started working on this 15 years ago was that once you start to inspect AI systems, they're actually quite simple systems because they try to make complexity very simple. And the simple pattern is always a white man, middle-aged, with a stable job. And so in our work, over and over again, we find how AI systems, because what they do is they take historical data, they identify patterns, and they seek to reproduce those patterns. That's how every AI system in the world, even large language models, work. So when you go to a bank, as a woman, you get between 10 and 20 times less services than men because we are underrepresented in training data. Because for a long, long time, we were not allowed to have bank accounts, and even now we make less money, and often men are the heads of the family. We go to the emergency room, and because the diseases that impact women are studied, we are not diagnosed with the right diseases, or our heart attacks are not identified on time. And I can say all of those things about women because we have data. I cannot give you one single piece of data on how AI systems are impacting on the Hispanic community, because we do not know, because no one has cared to count us. And that is hugely problematic. We have data on women, which is terrible, like AI systems continuously discriminate women. We have data on people of color, but we don't have data on the Hispanic Latino community. So we don't even know what is happening to us on those systems, but based on my work, I can tell you it's not gonna be pretty. Once we start gathering that information, it is not gonna look good. So for us, it's so important to create those accountability mechanisms, to go to all the companies that develop AI, that use AI in hiring, in medical systems, in the criminal justice community. Just say, you need to make sure that all the efforts that people like Rocio and everyone you've heard of about today and yesterday, all the work that we are doing may be killed by technical systems that are profoundly opaque, that we don't even know how they work, and that just tend to overrepresent white men, and so forget everyone else. In my life, I've always been an outlier. We had the intersectional panel before. It's like so many of us are transversed by so many identities. If you're an outlier, you will never be seen by an AI system. An AI system is always about patterns. If you're not a pattern, if you're not like a lot of other people, you are not seen. All AI systems that I've audited eliminate outliers because they add complexity. It's just too much to work on. I'd rather have just, 2 or 3 profiles of the main population. If you don't fit into those 2 or 3 profiles of the whole population, I'm not interested in you. There's no money in selling to you because your preferences are too small. You're an outlier. That is hugely problematic. Because a lot of us are outliers at different moments of our lives. Maybe you are normal when it comes to your financial profile, but maybe you're not normal when it comes to your medical profile. So there's going to be a moment in your life when you come across all this injustice and bias in AI systems. We have AI systems deciding who gets a job. If you don't know how to play with the algorithm, the fact that Latinos are stuck in low-income jobs, low-qualified, that will mean that your fate will be determined by the fate of the community as it's been in the past, because that is how AI works. So unless we learn to understand how AI works and what it is, and the potential that it has, which is amazing, but also the risks, unless we incorporate the right data into those systems, unless we make sure that the AI is accountable, I fear that what I said before, all the things that we are winning slowly over time through the sweat and tears of a lot of people are going to be lost once our data hits the wall of AI.
Thank you so much, Emma. And Rocio, can you share with us a little bit of what you're focusing on at the moment too, please?
Yeah, and actually what, Emma, you were mentioning is extremely important, especially now when generative AI is such a big thing. Now, every venture, every new technology from major companies have something AI, and as you say, everything has flaws. Why? Because the machine learns first from their creators. And are we the creators? We're definitely the consumers. We gotta move from being just the consumers to the makers, the creators, the innovators. And this is not something, we gotta do this. This is not a brand new idea. We're there. We're already working in tech. We just need to scale up, upper mobility. We gotta go up and aim high. Not only thinking, I wanna be a front-end engineer. I'm gonna go to the moon. I'm gonna be Ellen Ochoa. I'm gonna invent the cure for cancer or create robotics, things that are moonshot because the machine learns from their creators and the technology needs us. It's our obligation, really, by now, to change this for many generations to come. So that's what I hope happens.
Yeah. Wonderful. And so through these days, we've heard of everybody, and there is an important ecosystem that we can see, and there is an ecosystem in tech as well. And how do you imagine that you could collaborate together? Because we can see through their examples the breadth and the depth of what's happening. So I would love to hear your ideas.
Well, I have many, especially when we talk about AI. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. No, right? Yeah, okay. So at this very moment, there's a lot of homework that hasn't been done, that needs to be audited. All the things that are already out there, as she says, so many systems that is just peeling us out by our name, by our color, by our size, by the shape of our hair, by so many ways. So we need to audit that and fix it. But moving forward, we need to, as I said, make those systems. We need to be there. And one day, Zoom is not gonna, not work for African American hair, or some other technologies that just don't read brown hands will. So we will be there creating it and being part of taking the benefits of and the fruition of those technologies.
Thank you, thank you.
My head explodes with ideas, not just with Rocio, but other people from the cohort, the Hispanic stars, like people working on education and making sure that Latinos and Hispanics have opportunities in the educational sector, people working in job opportunities, people working on the criminal justice system. All that work is now being inundated by these AI systems that, again, take data from the past. So the thing is that if the representativity or the impact of Latinos and Hispanics in the US has skyrocketed in the last couple of years, AI systems are going to be taking data from the last 20 years. So last couple of years, that's not really that relevant. We're going to be kind of condemned to the data that comes from a long, long time ago before we won some really important battles. So that needs to be incorporated in all of our work. I think that anything that we do, we need to make sure that all the background work that we do, mentoring people, ensuring opportunities, doesn't then get tumbado, destroyed by these AI systems that, because of the way that they work, continue to leave us out. So I think there's so many possibilities for collaboration. When you want to solve a problem, you need to go to the end of the pipe and the beginning of the pipe. We have a lot of people working at the beginning of the pipe, making sure that Latinos are prepared and there and ready when the opportunities come. But what about the end of the pipe? What if you've done everything well, you've got the training, you've got the opportunities, but then you send your CV to that dream job, and because that company had never employed a Hispanic Latino before, you're left out because you don't fit the pattern. The pattern is not a Latino or Hispanic person in the tech industry. And so what we are seeing in hiring systems are trained on the CVs of the people that have been hired in the past. So the patterns that they extract is who have we hired in the past. If you're not represented there, you will not be represented in the future. Like basically, we disappear from the world if we allow those systems to make these decisions without incorporating synthetic data, rules. There's lots of things that we can do to fix this. It's not a problem of technology. It's just bad technology. We need to make AI better. And better means that AI needs to be fair, needs to be representative, and needs to work for all of us.
Thank you so much. Yes. So let me frame this last question, sadly, saying that at ASHOKA we think all the time about systems change. And with that, and as we come to the close of this time together, I would love to ask you to help us to think of the questions for the future. What can be our vision for the future? Where do we need to start coining these very specific questions to move ahead?
I would like for every single person to ask themselves, what am I doing? What can I do, me as a single cell, to help this big, bold role? What can I do as a Latina to change my outcome? As Claudia says all the time, flip the script. Get your voices heard. Ask for that raise or that promotion. 95% of promotions and raises are given to people that ask. And Latinos, in our culture, we heads down, do the best job we can until maybe somebody will tap on their back offering us something, and that is not how the game works in the United States. We can help ourselves while we also work with the system and hold the companies accountable. They cannot keep abusing the fact that we do not ask and pay us less. They believe that we're cheap labor because we don't ask. So they need to be proactive. ERGs, talk to ERGs. ERGs have the direct communication to CEOs. We must make them accountable, and we must ask. And by doing those two actions, we will make this ball roll nicely and fast.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think that all of us here know what it means to be an outlier, to be significantly different from most people around you. Either at school, you were the only one who spoke Spanish at home, the only one with a darker hair color, the only one celebrating specific holidays at home. And I think that what does give you is empathy and a commitment to raising yourself by elevating everyone. And I think that's my legacy. That's what my family taught me. I am here because they were here. I stand in the shoulders of giants, and I am my elders' wildest dreams, and hopefully those that come after me are my wildest dreams. I think that the commitment to the community, understanding that you cannot grow unless everybody else around you grows, fostering that empathy when you get out there. There's room for everyone up there. So do not become a problem for the ones that come after you. Keep that sense of empathy and community. For me, that should guide our work going forward. This commitment to equality, everything that we do needs to work for us, but also for others. And I think that's kind of the values that we want to put forward. For me, being part of this society is not. It is understanding the values of this society, but it's also trying to change them when I think that they don't work for who we are as human beings. And I think that there's a lot about, the idea of community, the commitment to others that is not really fostered here. And I think that we can bring that, and but we need to protect that, because otherwise we'll be just kind of run down with everything that happens in this country. How do we foster an idea of equality that means that our success is not only our success, but the success of other people, that we never think about ourselves in individual terms. We are our families, our communities, and what we build together. So for me, that should be transversal to all the work of We Are All Human and ASHOKA going forward, and I hope to see those values in new cohorts.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And we would like to say thank you to the whole cohort, and very special thanks to Claudia and the beautiful We Are All Human team that we've been collaborating with.